This is Hoodies. Word. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Energy up. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Welcome back to another dope session of Footies the Podcast. I'm the host, the God Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Or maybe not so live, but we coming at you, man. Let's put one in the air for Hoodies the Podcast. Word. Listen, man, no RIP. Well, I'm going to stop saying that. Because apparently there are some RIPs to give. Because, right after that, I'm going to say my condolences to anybody who's lost a loved one today. So that's the RIP. That's the condolence. And that's also the moment of silence. Word. I'm sincerely sorry for your loss. And also in dope fashion, shout out to everybody with a birthday today. You know what I'm saying? Word. Salute to y'all. New life, more life. Word up. So if everybody's good, I'm good. And we all good. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. All right? Let's do it. All right. So check it. I'm not in therapy now, but when I was, with 2018, when I was, in fact, that certificate right there, yeah, that's 2018. 5th day of November, 2018. I got that certificate after completing therapy. It's called psychotherapy, they called it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not in therapy now, but I remember when I was, the sister said, well, one of the things she asked me, based off some things I had told her, and she says, why is it important for you to explain, why is it important for you to clear things up with people? You know what I'm saying? Is there any particular reason why you don't just let people think what they want to think? And I can't remember exactly the response that I gave to her, but something along the lines of, I think low key, I want people to see me for who I am, or which is probably low key another way of saying I need people to validate me. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. You know, when I explain myself, to people who's got a particular idea about me, as opposed to just, man, whatever, think what you want to think and let them run with it. Right? And I never forgot that question. Why do you feel the need to correct people as opposed to just letting them think what they want to think? So since then, I've come to realize that tends to happen every time I go a while without tapping in. And by tapping in, I mean when I take the time, like I should, to meditate. So to a lot of people, meditating, it may not seem heavy to a lot of people. It's one of those things that if you know, right? So listen, people with different belief systems in whatever, be it religion or maybe you believe in yourself, whatever the case is, everybody has a more, something that's more to them, right? And they can tap into that more and center themselves. So I would imagine for a Muslim, their more would be, Allah, or their relationship with Allah, or I suppose, right? And so reading the Quran may be their means of recentering. And the same for a Christian. You know, Christianity or Jesus is most likely their more. You understand? And the Bible, you know, quotes and things of that nature are probably their means of centering themselves. Everybody has their more. And I'm no different. I got my more. And my more is my soul. For me, soul is more. Right? And I tap in just like religious folk or just believers of other different types of belief systems tap in to their belief system. Or they tap into it. So I tap into my soul, my inner self, or it's different names. It depends on the mood sometimes. It's my inner self. That inner me. You understand? Like but for me, my soul is more. You understand? In fact, my soul is my guide, right? I'm also of the belief that everybody has a soul that somewhat guides them. Or, yeah, everybody has a soul that guides them. I think that it happens. I think that it happens to us when we're super little. I know it happens to us when we mad little, when we kids, right? we all we're all born with an intuition of sorts. The best way to explain intuition is the ability to understand something instinctively. That makes any sense, because it makes sense to me, but I'm trying to speak it in a way that makes sense to everybody who's watching this right now. Ever like walk into a room, or come around certain people, or certain people come around you, or just something that gives you that feeling. A lot of times we call it a gut feeling. When something just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes when something feels good. Right? But we can't pinpoint what that thing is. Now there's levels to being able to read one's intuition. There's levels to it. Some folk can understand it right off rip. I'm not one of those people. I'm I could probably tap into that more, right? But the way I process intuition, or what my soul is trying to guide me to see, I can feel it, and in feeling it, I know something's gonna happen. I don't know when or where, you know what I'm saying? But something's gonna happen. And almost every single time something happens. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that this has happened to, or I'm sure I'm not the only person that this happens to. Right? You ever, and like I said, when you feel when something's not right, or even have a good feeling about something, right? But say the feeling is negative. Have you ever found yourself saying, I knew something wasn't right about that nigga. I knew something wasn't right about those people. Or, I just knew it. Man, I knew that shit. That's why I didn't buy it. Or that's why I didn't go. That's why I didn't say nothing. Or that's your intuition. Right? It's something we've been feeling ever since we were little. Not too many people speak on it. Well, unless I'm going to use live. Unless you live in that world. I live there because my soul is my guide. But anyway, so the way I tap in is through meditation. And I can tell when I've swayed too far to the left or the right, or just far away from myself, because outside noise, like folk having an opinion of me and say that opinion is far from who I really am. When I care too much, then that's a telltale sign. That's, to me, that's lack. Because why do you care? Because I have to think to myself, why the fuck do you care? Let them go ahead and think what they want to think. Because regardless of how you explain yourself, oftentimes a person's opinion of you is already been formed. And there ain't a whole lot sometimes that you can do to clear that up. Sometimes it is. You can clear that up. Right? But that's beside the point. The point is, I say to myself, why do you care so much about people having this accurate depiction of you when you know who you are? And whenever I start feeling like that, that's when it's time to tap in. Get in touch with self. Get back in tune with myself. Center myself. I tapped in a lot as a child, as a kid, in adolescence, whatever. You know, I was in tune with myself when I thought, nah, GD, BD, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good. I'm cool. Hey, I holler at y'all. I'm good. I'm good. I don't, life's hard enough as it is. You know, and don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say I'm better than nobody because I chose not to while others chose to indulge. Soul said, nah, that ain't for you, fam. That ain't you. That ain't going nowhere. And, well, I was right. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know I'm not the only one. Everybody's felt it. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, we get answers from ourselves. When you go inside, when you tap in, you can find answers. Some folk will say they talk to God. I agree. Only the God is you. You ain't got to believe what I believe. That inner self, my inner self, that's my God, my guide. I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm not saying I don't have moments when, you know what I'm saying, when I feel like I'm lacking. Because I'm speaking to it now. That's a telltale sign when it's time to recenter myself. This is for people who experience the same thing, caring too much what other people think. You know what I mean? Always wanting to clear the fucking air so people can... Even when you do explain yourself to people, they still don't know you. Yeah, I know. Best friend, girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, mother, father, siblings. They don't know you. They don't know you. You don't know them. Think of all the things we don't share. Think of all the things that we don't share with people that we even love. Think about that. All the things we don't speak on. There's a whole lot of things. People don't know us. We don't know people. You know what I'm saying? People only showed us what they only show us what they want to show us. You know what I'm saying? We only know the things about people that they show us, or the things that they were careless and fucked around, and we seen parts of them that they'd rather us not see. But we seen it because they was slipping and off their square, and now we know. But you still don't know people, and they don't know you. So I have to recenter myself, right? Bring it back home. You know what I'm saying? And step back into, you know, who I am. Get back on my square. You know what I'm saying? Get back on my square. You know, just get back on my square. Block out the noise. See, I know I'm not centered when the noise starts to kind of penetrate through this little force shield. You know what I mean? When my mind is strong and my spirit is strong and on it square, outside noise, yeah, I hear it, but it ain't doing shit. But when I'm off, oh yeah, I start to fucking care. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous. For me. For me, that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous. Shit, sometimes I might get a little irritable. I'll get just kind of fed up with this person saying something, that one and that one and that one and that one. Like, hey, yo, man. I need to just figure some shit out for myself, man. I need to just tap in and figure some things out and do what works for me. You know? I need to go back to taking time every single morning and tapping in. And I've strayed from that. It ain't the first time. You know what I'm saying? And I suppose it could be worse. I'm glad that when I'm not on my square or off center, I'm glad that it doesn't make me violent. You know what I'm saying? But that's not to say that it doesn't have the potential for that to happen. I'm grateful that I have outlets. I got this right here in the suite. You know what I'm saying? I got this right here. I got the gym. Great way to, man, whew. Hey, even that is a form of meditation for me. Because when I'm hitting the bag, thoughts are running. I'm processing things. You know? When I'm on that treadmill, I'm processing things, pushing myself. I put myself through that bullshit, through that rigorous bullshit that I don't want to fucking do half the time. But I do it because I love myself. I need it. I need that. I need the outlet. I need to expend that energy. And I need to get my heart rate up. You know, I don't want to be no skinny little stick. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, muscle memory is to stay active, keep the blood flowing. You know, and I take the same approach most times with my diet. Sometimes I do battle with sugar. I love my forget the name of the iced teas. I love my pure leaf iced teas. You know what I mean? And I love grape juice. You know? Then I got times when nah, I don't want that. Nah. But yeah. You know? I know it may be hard to believe. Hey, but even Rashidi got, you know, things he gotta, you know what I'm saying? Word. But yeah, man. Anybody else feel that? Feel like they off center? You know what I'm saying? And they have to tap into their more, you know, and recenter themselves. Kind of get back to the basics. Not worrying about what the fuck people think. You know? It's a dangerous place to be, man. When the opinions of others tend to sway you from what you think of yourself. That's dangerous. Word. This isn't just limited to self-believers and meditators, you know, because having been a religious man at one point in time, just like when I meditate, of course, affirm that Skill is the best fucking barbershop in the world, the best barbershop in Newport News, and that's just starting there, right? Just like anything else, you say that enough, and say it and say it and say it. Again, the brain is a computer, forms an algorithm. And next thing you know, you're doing things to beautify your space. I take that same approach, of course, with the suite. You know what I mean? About your life and things you need to clean up, polish up on. You'll find yourself doing said things to make room, to make space, to make way for this thing you're trying to manifest. You understand what I'm saying? So I would liken that to also to a prayer. You know, I'd like to think that that's somewhat like meditation, you know, because you're praying to your deity of choice. And I don't know. Do you find yourself actually doing things that are conducive to you the achieving the things that you prayed for? Do you? Because if so, if that's you, then that's no different from how we think. And I'm saying we is myself and other people who think the same way. I know for a fact that there are kindred spirits. You know what I'm saying? People who tap in and center themselves. You know? But yeah. So I'm wondering if any of this came out. But if it did, it did. If it didn't, it didn't. That's okay. That's cool. It probably just wasn't for you. And that's all good too. This is one of those things. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Listen, when you tap in and you meditate and you make whatever, you know, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole nother world in there. If you know, you fucking know. There's a whole nother world that you tap into and find answers and get answers. I've meditated and prepared myself for something that was coming up in the future. And as I sat there meditating, I went over every scenario, everything that could go wrong, everything that could go right. But if I'm being honest, I thought of everything that could possibly go wrong. And I sat there and I meditated on it. Of course, I'm not sitting like this, asana position. You know what I'm saying? And when I went to this event, some of those things happened. And I sat there like, I seen this already. I seen this already. I already seen it. I was already prepared for it. I wasn't caught off surprise. I wasn't like, but why that? Nope. I seen it already. I saw it beforehand. Yeah. Everybody's got intuition. Some of us listen to it and some of us don't. That's all. And that's cool. That's cool. Everybody's where they are because where they are works for them. Simple. You know what I'm saying? You know? I'd rather focus on the things we have in common rather than the things you know what I'm saying, we have differences in. I know for a fact that everybody's got a means of centering themselves. They just off. We could just be off. Got to bring it back. Bring it back on in. Reel it back on in. Center yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get back to the basics. Then get right back in the ring and go ahead and keep fighting. You dig what I'm saying? Slip them punches. Defense. Word. This is officially the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? This would be a great time to, like I said before, reconcile with some friends, family, co-workers that you may have, you know, maybe y'all are at odds now because of the previous election that just popped off. You know, now would be a good time to start speaking again. You know, I hear, scrolling down the site formerly known as Twitter, I hear folk still feeling the ways about Kamala not winning. You know what I'm saying? And talking about how, matter of fact, it was Jennifer Lewis talking to Stephen A. Smith.
And what do you have to say to black men and Latinos who were not in favor of supporting Kamala Harris?
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. When your favorite niece and your 13-year-old daughter is raped by your alcoholic brother or the next door neighbor, and she tries to abort that baby inside of her from a rape, you're going to regret that. They want to keep women in their place. It's so disgusting. I can't even put words to them voting for her. They didn't vote for her, didn't vote because she was a woman.
Listen, she, just like all of us, got a right to our opinions. There's all this talk about, or was all the talk about women's rights and the right to abort an unborn child in the case of rape and things of that nature. And I wonder if there was any thought put to the question, right? Okay, first of all, rape is horrible. It's horrible. Horrible. I can only imagine. Being violated is horrible. I know that's horrible. Right? Especially by someone in your family, someone close to the family. Either way, it's horrible. Right? But the question is, I wonder if anybody put any thought into is, does that give the mother the right to kill that baby, to unalive that baby? Let's say it like that. I wonder if there was any thought put to the question, what about the baby? And that's all I got to say about that. What about that unborn child? Just, I had a bad experience, which is, I acknowledge that, but just do away with the baby's life. Word. Hey, just a question. Yeah. Even though I said that this was a pod or an episode for the self-believers and the meditators, no, this is for everybody. This is for everybody who has their more. You know what I'm saying? Jesus in the Bible may be your more. Allah / Muhammad in the Holy Quran may be, you know what I'm saying, your more. You know? And in whatever belief system, the text and the belief in that deity or whatever is your more. And I'm no different from anybody else. Only for me, soul is more. So yeah, I gotta go, man. Time's a ticking. I gotta go. But anyway, thanks for checking in or tapping in with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your likes, subs, shares. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your time. I gotta go. I'm the God Rashidi, and this is Hoodies, man. Peace. Hey, this is Hoodies.